What's the lifeblood of your business? Well, beyond their customers and the employees who serve them, a lot of companies and organizations these days might say it's information. But energy is what keeps all that data flowing. And while managing information is certainly a high priority for just about any business, managing energy use is also becoming more and more critical. And not just because using it inefficiently is bad for your bottom line. More and more we're all realizing that the responsible use of energy is something that benefits the future of the communities we serve and the world around us. So, how can you manage your energy use more efficiently? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be shedding some light on in this video. And speaking of lights, that's a great place to start. Turning the lights off when they're not needed is an excellent way to lower energy use. In restrooms and storage areas that are only occupied sporadically during the day, you may want to place a sign by the light switch requesting that the lights be turned off when the room is not in use. Rooms that have a lot of natural lighting generally don't need a lot of added electrical lighting. So, you may want to reduce or even eliminate the use of overhead lights on sunny days. You know, it might even be worthwhile to install film, shades, or blinds to reduce the heat from the sun in the summer, so you can let the light in and control the heat. The net energy savings could be well worth the investment. Of course, when your business or organization is closed, the lights should be off. But in those times when people are working before or after hours, encourage the use of only those lights that are needed for the work areas involved. Do a walkthrough inspection of the lights in your facility to make sure that the lamps and fixtures are clean. The dirtier they get over time, the less light you'll get out of them. You know, if you clean them every 2 to 3 years, you may find that you can step down to lower wattage lamps or even eliminate some of the lamps you're currently using. Speaking of using more efficient lamps, here's a good case in point, your exit signs. Now, typically these signs are required to be on at all times by code. But if your exit signs have 20 to 50 watt incandescent lamps in them, you can upgrade to signs equipped with compact fluorescent or LED lamps and dramatically reduce the energy cost of your signs. You know, you should also take a hard look at the lighting on the outside of your facility. You want to make sure these lights are only on when necessary, and you may want to switch some of these lights to lower wattage bulbs as well. If you want to be able to use a set it and forget it approach to when your lights are on or off, well, then you might want to install photoelectric timers. Now, these devices can sense motion, so they can turn both exterior and interior lights on or off according to the way you program their controls. Hey, here's another useful lighting tip. Some work areas really need more intense lighting for close work. If you install desk lamps in those areas, it can improve productivity while potentially reducing the need for overhead lighting. Well, you couldn't tell it by its obvious lack of postage, but this is an envelope. That's the term used in the energy industry to refer to the barrier that a building structure provides between the air inside and outside of the building itself. Just as an envelope keeps some things in and other things out, your building's envelope also has features like windows that act as filters to let things like light, fresh air, heat, and coolness come in and go out. What we're going to show you next are some ways that you can make the most of that envelope to enhance your facility's energy efficiency, starting with the places where energy tends to leak out. Hey, when was the last time you checked your building's exterior for cracks around the doors or windows? You know, over time, cracks can also appear in the foundation or around window air conditioners, and wherever pipes, telephone, or electrical lines enter the building. Most of these cracks can be filled with an appropriate silicone sealant, although some larger gaps may require the use of foam stuffers. Always remove any worn-out caulking before replacing it. Any loose window or door frames should be tightened, and you want to install any weather stripping that may be needed or replace any that's worn out. Now, if your building has window air conditioners, you want to make sure they're covered during cold weather to keep the winter out. Hey, if you want to keep your energy costs from going through the roof, make sure you have plenty of the right kind of insulation up there. You can install insulation inside between the roof and the ceiling, or outside between the roof support beams and the waterproofing material. Either way, it's sure to make heating and cooling your building more cost efficient. Now, there's a variety of insulation materials to choose from, and each has a different energy resistance or R value. You want to make sure you install enough to bring the R value of your building up to an R30. When it comes to heating and cooling your facility, comfort and efficiency are a matter of degrees. Now, to find out where the right thermostat setting is to accomplish both, try this experiment. In the heating season, lower the thermostat setting 1 degree each week. Then survey your employees to see if they're still comfortable. In the cooling season, try raising the setting 1 degree each week. Now, raising the setting as little as 3 degrees can reduce your energy use by as much as 15%. If there appear to be areas that are consistently warmer in the summer or colder in the winter, then there are a number of things that you can do. First, you want to check for air leaks around windows or doors that may be nearby, and then take care of any needed repairs. Also, you want to make sure there's adequate insulation in that area of the building. You know, it may be that you need to adjust the registers around the building to achieve a more balanced airflow. As a general rule, the registers that are farther from the fan in your heating and cooling units should be more open than those that are closest. And finally, remember that sunlight is also a source of heat. Work areas that are near windows are going to be warmer in the summer. So installing and using blinds or shades can be an inexpensive way to cool down those hot spots.